Hello YouTube! Not really a tutorial video, more of a demonstration video of how I do my makeup for my burlesque shows. So most of you, if you've seen my videos, know that I don't wear makeup on a regular day-to-day basis. It's a long process, it's frustrating, it's tiring, and I just don't have time for that shit. So I've already put on a base. I put on CoverGirl Clean Makeup Classic Ivory 110. And using a little wedge brush, wedge thing. I started by doing that as a base, and I basically use this as a primer because it doesn't give a lot of full coverage, but it just gives that little bit for the other makeup. This is my Maybelline Dream Matte. And this is in Pure Beige, which is medium number 2. And I really like this because it ends up slightly darker. It gives me a little bit more full coverage. And I spend a lot of time focusing on this area because it doesn't really show up very well on the video, but I do have like a port wine stain. So now you can see it's all like, so to set the foundation that I just put on, I'm going to use CoverGirl True Blend Pressed Powder in Translucent Fair. And if you'll notice, this is much, much lighter than this, but I'm just going to use a very little amount of it. And this is just going to help to set. I'm not really doing this with any kind of pattern or anything in mind. It's just slather it on. So that kind of evens it out. So is the right tone for my skin, but it doesn't cover up enough, so I use the darker one to cover up and make it all like even, and then I use the pressed powder to bring it back to this bronzer next. I'm using Wet n Wild bronzer in 702A medium to dark. And I'm going to use the same brush that I used for the pressed powder. I'm going to go down underneath the cheeks. I'm also going to put some on the inside of the collarbone. By the way, the brushes that I'm using, I bought from Costco. They're the Kirkland Signature Brush Pack. It comes in this nice little case. And there's a bunch of different brushes in here. Like there's ones for your eyeshadow, and I'll show you those later. But you can use whatever brushes you need. I'm not like, you have to use this brush or else it won't work out. So now I'm going to switch over to this Bare Essentials brush. I'm going to use the bronzer one more time, and I'm just going to make a really thin contouring line for underneath my cheekbones here. And I'm going to switch over to blush. For blush, I'm using Wet n Wild Pearlescent Pink 831E. There it is. I'm going to use the same brush I just used for the bronzer. You don't need very much, just a very little bit. And what I like to do, I need my mirror. What I like to do is smile and get the apples of my cheeks really good, and then blend. But you don't want to just do like one sweep up, otherwise you're going to have like an 80s overly blush face, and you don't want that. So I blended that up, and now I have blushy cheeks. Now for the fun part, doing eyes. So I guess I should start by doing my eyebrows. And for that, I'm using NYC eyeliner pencil in 922 dark brown. Okay, I'm going to start here and kind of follow the top part of the brow and go out. And I only am going to do the top part because I have kind of thick eyebrows, so if I put too much liner on it, it's going to look like I have caterpillars on my face. But I just need that little extra bit of definition in my eyebrows. because they're thick but they're not very defined. I'm just going to kind of like fill in this bottom part just a little bit. Fill in this bottom part. That one got a little dark. That's how I do my eyebrows. Very simple. These are my favorite things ever. This is LA Girl Fine Line Long Lasting Fine Tip Liquid Eyeliner. And this I've found to be, if you struggle with using like the little paintbrush in the liquid eyeliner, this has been a godsend, because all it is, it's like a marker. It's like a felt tip marker. Like that. And then I'm going to go from the bottom lid, and I'm going to make a line straight up. I like to bring it out even to where my eyebrows are, but if you don't want them that dramatic, then you don't have to have them that way. But since I'm going to be on stage, it's better to have slightly darker makeup. And then I don't come all the way in on the bottom, if you can see that, and I'll show you why in a minute. It's because I'm going to be using a pencil to go back and do that, because not all of it looks good. What I do is I take eyeliner from this corner, I'm going to draw a line straight down and merge it with the line that I've already done. Now that I've gotten the outline of it, I have another marker. It's the same kind of eyeliner marker. It's just slightly thicker. This one's LA Girl Mark My Eyes. It's like an extreme bold eyeliner, and you can see why. It's a really thick tip on it. So that's how it looks when it's done. And this will look very good with the false eyelashes. I can never get the two eyes to match, so they're going to look a little bit different. But when people are far enough off the stage, they're not really going to notice that. So, yeah, I'm going to skip through this because nobody really wants to see me do this other eye. Okay, so now I got my eyes done. And you can tell they're not like exactly the same, but they're close enough. So when I'm on stage, people aren't really going to notice that they're like slightly off. So now the next step is to do eyeshadow. And I do my eyeshadow very differently than most people do, because I'm going to use actual glitter. So I'm using, I got these on eBay for like less than $10, and it came with a pack of 30 of them, I think. So I'm going to be using a blue, silver, and a black. I'm just going to take a little bit of each of these, and this I'm using this kind of brush. And you can't see what I'm doing here, but I've got a piece of tissue, and I'm just taking a little bit of each of these and pouring it onto the tissue, and then I use that little palette of some blue and silver and black. And this stuff won't stick to your eyes unless they're wet with something. So I'm going to use Revlon Photo Ready Eye Primer and Brightener. You twist the bottom to bring the stuff up to the top. That's already got some up there. And with this, I'm just going to make an outline of where I want the eyeshadow to be, and then fill it in, and then quickly put the glitter on there. Okay, so unfortunately I didn't get a chance to finish the video in the bathroom because my boyfriend had to use the bathroom, so I kind of had to finish on my own. But I finished the eyeshadow, and it's all sparkly and glittery. And then I put on my false eyelashes. I guess I'll make another tutorial video at some point on how to put on false eyelashes. I just didn't have time tonight. And then I just finished it off with a little bit of lip gloss, and I'm ready to go. So I'm performing at the Portage Theater tonight, Black Friday 2012, midnight on the Love stage for Peace Fest Harvest. So if you want to come out and show us some love, please do. Everybody have a good day.